Live from the campus of Washington and Lee University, this is a Channel 18 Rockbridge News Update.
Welcome to the Rockbridge Report Live News Update. I'm Kinsey Grant. The city of Buena Vista is facing an old lawsuit at a higher court. ACA Financial Guarantee refiled a June 2016 suit against the city, sending the suit from the state court to a federal one. The city has 60 days to respond to the ACA suit. City Attorney Brian Kearney said that the city has a moral obligation, not a general obligation, to pay its debt to the New York-based insurance company. He also said that the city will continue to try negotiating with ACA. Buena Vista defaulted on payments in 2014 to ACA, which agreed to back bonds issued to finance the failing Vista Links golf course. White House National Security Advisor Michael Flynn stepped down last night after less than a month on the job. His resignation follows questions about his contacts with Russia. The Justice Department recently alerted the White House of contradictions between the Trump administration's version of Russian contacts and what intelligence officials found. Intelligence investigators reviewed routine recordings of communications with foreign officials in the U.S. President Trump has named Lieutenant General Joseph Keith Kellogg as interim national security advisor.
National security is perhaps the most important function or responsibility a president has. And I think the president made the right decision to ask for his resignation. You cannot have a national security advisor misleading the vice president and others. So I think the president was right to ask for his resignation.
President Trump and the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee want an investigation focusing on the leaks surrounding the discussions between the Russian ambassador and Michael Flynn. Other lawmakers are taking the Trump administration to task for what they claim is knowing about Flynn's actions weeks ago, yet doing nothing. In Northern California, crews are still working to shore up a damaged spillway at the Oroville Dam. The spillway was intended to help release overflowing water from the lake, but has ended up spurring erosion that has threatened the whole structure. For now, the dam and the spillway are holding, and the catastrophic flooding officials feared has not happened. Scott McLean is there with this report.
Crews in Northern California working to repair damage to spillways at the Oroville Dam. So far, it's holding and water levels are dropping. Crews have been dropping boulders at the site in hopes they'll provide erosion protection and shore up the structure.
It's more a numbers game. The more rock, the more just general mass we can fill in those holes, the better.
With these rocks going in place, the risk factor is reduced. Not eliminated, but it is reduced.
A massive hole opened in the dam's concrete spillway, and rushing water eroded the hillside below the emergency spillway, forcing the evacuation of nearly 200,000 people. But not everyone left.
No, I have family that lives farther up and outside of town, so if anything were to happen, we would just slide that direction.
Governor Jerry Brown has asked for federal assistance, though he's still waiting for a response from the president. The mandatory evacuation order has not been lifted, but many residents say they're content to wait until they know the dam is safe.
Whatever they need to do, they need to make sure it's right so we're safe, so we don't have to repeat this in a couple of days when the next storm hits.
We're kind of on the safe side. We won't go back until they tell us it's safe.
In Oroville, California, I'm Scott McLean.
A bill in the Virginia House of Delegates that would have adversely affected an area internet service provider has been altered. House Bill HB 2108, which would have allowed bigger service providers to use the facilities and fiber of municipal broadband systems, was amended. Frank Smith, president and CEO of the Roanoke Valley Broadband Authority, said that HB 2108 no longer poses a threat to local and municipal broadband authorities. The Rockbridge Area Network Authority will now be able to continue its operations without a larger provider using its infrastructure. Construction crews began work on a nearly $11 million Amtrak platform in downtown Roanoke yesterday. Officials say that the passenger train service to stops like Lynchburg and Washington, D.C. should begin immediately following the anticipated 10-month construction period. Amtrak plans for one train to depart each morning and return again at night. Ticket sales for the trains have not yet begun. Nearly 40 years ago, Aton Pates became the first missing child to appear on a milk carton. Now, his murder has finally been solved. Pedro Hernandez was convicted today of murder during a kidnapping. After Pates disappeared without a trace from his bus stop, his parents lent their voices to a campaign to make missing children a national cause. Pates' father, Stanley, said the family is happy to have closure. Coming up on Thursday, we'll show you how the beer scene is changing in Rockbridge County. One brewer is moving, another is opening up, and a third is expanding. And the nightlife scene in Lexington is changing. We'll show you where you can dance the night away. Don't forget to tune in Thursday at 4:30 for our full newscast, and stay updated on our website at rockbridgereport.wlu.edu.